Hey guys, it's Georgina from Litaholic, and I'm here to talk to you about my latest review. It's for the novel The Empty Nesters by Nina Bell. I've already done a written review on the website. If you want to go and check that one out, you can do. It's at www.chicklitaholic.blogspot.com. But I also thought I'd do a video review. It's something new that I've started doing. I'm getting some great feedback from you guys, so I thought I'd carry it on with this novel, which is right here. The Empty Nesters by Nina Bell. Basically, this novel is about three women, and it's about what happens when their children come to the age of leaving school and moving on to university, sort of moving away from home, carry on with their own lives. And it's sort of how these women cope, not being full-time mothers anymore, not being full-time carers to their children, and sort of having to focus on their own marriages, their own friendships, and their own lives, and figure out really what they want to do with their lives and what they want to happen now that their children are no longer there. So the three women, there's Clover, Laura, and Alice. Clover and Laura are married, and Alice is a single mother. Alice is sort of successful, high-flying businesswoman who doesn't seem to have a lot of time for her child or for her friends. And then there's Laura and Clover, who have been best friends ever since their children first started school. And basically, it looks at their sort of situation that they're in now that their children have left home. They've been through holidays and vacations together. They've been through carpools, making sure that their children get to school together. Lots of catching up with each other, friendships, and things. But now the children have left home, things are starting to change, and they sort of have to take a look at their own marriages and figure out whether they're happy or not. They have to take a look at their own lives and sort of figure out whether they're fulfilled now that they have no children left at home to look after. And they also have to take a look at their friendships and see whether their friendships are going to survive now that their children have left home, and that's not the only thing that's binding them together. What did I think of the novel? Well, there were lots of things that I liked about this novel. In the beginning, I was sort of a little bit worried because these women are all in their 40s and 50s. They all have children who are sort of around about the age of 18. Some of their children are older, but on average their children are around the age of 18. So these women are in their 40s and 50s. I myself, I'm 22. So these women are a lot older than I am. And I was a little bit worried in the beginning that I wouldn't be able to relate to these women with what they're going through. I have no children myself. So I was kind of a little bit worried in that sense, but there was no need for me to be, and there's no need for you to be either. These women are all really very relatable. Even though the issues that they're going through may not be, you will sympathise with what they're going through, you will understand what they're going through. The way that Nina Bell sort of narrates the story and brings the storyline together and creates all these characters and weaves it all in together makes it extremely likeable and extremely relatable, and just a great novel overall. My favourite character was Laura. She goes through a lot of tough times in the novel. I don't really want to talk too much about what she goes through because I don't want to give a lot of the story away, but there is sort of a situation with her husband that she goes through. It may not be quite what you're thinking, that sort of gets us to see the real Laura and gets us to see the emotions that she goes through, and sort of to bring down that facade that she kind of puts up with everybody else, and sort of see the real Laura herself. I really like the character of Clover as well. She goes through a few marital problems as well. Again, perhaps not what you might think, so don't think you have this novel sort of all written out in your head, because I sort of thought that many times through, and there's lots of places, lots of twists and turns that you won't see coming. But Clover and Laura are very relatable, two of my favourite characters. In terms of Alice, you're not supposed to like Alice, so if you don't like Alice, don't be worried. I didn't like Alice at all. But I think she's supposed to be sort of that unlikable character in many ways, and especially towards the end of the novel you'll see why. In terms of the husbands, I love the way that Nina Bell brought the husbands in as characters. A lot of the times husbands in novels are sort of brushed off to the side. They're there, but they're not really sort of involved in the storyline a huge amount. And it was nice to see the two husbands sort of being brought into things. I didn't particularly like them as characters, but they were very enjoyable to read about. Sort of they had some very real emotions and very real reactions as well, which made the novel sort of a lot more relatable and a lot more like real life would be. In terms of the storyline, you will think you have this one figured out. but you don't. Trust me, there are lots of twists and turns, there are lots of surprises, there's lots of suspense. You'll be reading through, and you'll get to the end of a chapter, and you'll think, okay, I know exactly what's happening with these characters, and then you'll turn the page, and you'll find out that you had no idea that was coming. You had no idea that twist was coming. And sort of, it makes the novel really exciting, and it makes you just want to carry on reading. It makes you want to keep turning the pages, find out exactly why certain characters are acting as they are, exactly who's doing what with whom, and sort of etc. So I found that really enjoyable as an aspect to the novel. Nina Bell writes really, really interesting family drama. She's done that again right here. And sort of what she does best. And bringing the children in as well, I sort of could really relate to the children. There was one aspect in specific where all the families, go on vacation holiday to France. And that was something that myself and my extended family used to do a lot when I was younger. We all used to sort of set off from England, get in the car, drive all the way down to the south of France, and sort of stay for 2 weeks all together. And that made me a little bit nostalgic, I have to say, for home and for everything that was related to that vacation as well. There were a lot of aspects in this novel that make it very British. If you're an American reader of this novel, you will still be able to relate. I'm entirely sure our lives aren't all that different. So it is a really good novel for you to go and read. In terms of what I didn't like, there was only really one thing, and that was that I would have liked to see more narration from the character Alice. A lot of the sort of novel is related from the viewpoint of Laura and Clover. We get to understand how they're thinking, what they're feeling, why they're doing things, but we don't really get to see that from Alice, and I would have liked to have seen that aspect of things, to understand why she is the way she is, why she does some of the things that she does, and just sort of get to know her a little bit better. But I did enjoy the way it was written, sort of from Laura and Clover's viewpoints. I like when we get to see sort of different characters bring their viewpoints to the forefront of the novel. And that was kind of about it, really, that I didn't like about the novel. I gave this novel, The Empty Nesters, 5 out of 5 stars. I don't do that very often. I know I've done it with the past 2 novels, but this one definitely deserves it. 5 out of 5 on my written review, 5 out of 5 on my video blog. So definitely go and check this one out. It is available in the UK at the moment. Everyone in the UK, you can go pick this up wherever you like to buy your books from. In terms of in the US, I know that you can buy the ebook version on Amazon.com for whatever e-reader you have. If you want a paperback copy, you're going to have to kind of go to Amazon.co.uk, or you can check out my store on the Chick Litaholic page. That's www.chicklitaholic.blogspot.com. I do have a few copies of this one available for you guys in the UK, in the US, sorry. So if you want to check that out, please do, and you can get in touch with me if you want to order a copy. Basically, this novel is by Nina Bell. I know that Nina has written a few novels before. I haven't checked any of them out yet, but if you want to go and check some out, you can check out her website, www.ninabell.co.uk. Go check her out on there. I know that she's on Twitter as well if you want to follow her. She always has some interesting tweets on there as well. This one is published by Little Brown, a section of Little Brown called Sphere, and you can also check them out at www.littlebrown.co.uk. So go check this one out. I would definitely recommend it to everyone, especially if you love family drama sort of interspersed with your chicklet. This is definitely the novel for you. I'm just going to show you it. This is a finished copy, so you can see the front right here. Just to talk about the cover just for a second, I was a little bit disappointed with this one. You can kind of see, once you've read the novel, why the cover has been chosen. It does sort of link in well with the storyline and the emotions of the characters. But it is a little bit plain, a little bit boring. I do think they could have done something a little bit more interesting, perhaps. But you know what they say, don't judge a book by its cover, and with this one, don't. Go pick this one up off your shelves. Go find out what this one is about, and check it out. So this is right here for you. In terms of Chick Litaholic, you know that you can check us out at www.chicklitaholic.blogspot.com. You can also like our page on Facebook. We're on there as Chick Litaholic. You can come follow us on Twitter at Chick_Litaholic. And then remember, you can email me as well. My email is chicklitaholic@hotmail.com. So there's lots of ways you can get in touch with me. You can leave comments on the videos, you can leave comments on the page. So don't feel afraid to get in touch with me and let me know what you guys think. I will be back again soon with my next review. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.